Colin Kaepernick, Cam Newton. What do these guys have in common besides, well, they both played in the Super Bowl. Now, Cap a lot closer than Cam because Cap had a chance to win it on the last drive. But the point remains, they both were on a bigger stage and were allowed to showcase their talent in the NFL. They didn't win it like Russell Wilson and Doug Williams. And Doug Williams had a spectacular game after coming back from, it looked like the game was possibly over from a knee injury. He went 18 for 29, 340, and 4 touchdowns. Just masterful performance. So you can win. You can win with a black quarterback, as we'll see when we dive into all the quarterbacks that are going to either be playing or notable ones in free agency. So we have for the quarterbacks that are either playing or in free agency. Now, I'm recording this September 5th. No, the 4th. I was completely wrong. So we have the players that are either on the rosters or some of the notable free agents I found. We have Teddy Bridgewater, Dak Prescott, Patty Mahomes, Tyrod Taylor, Jameis Winston, a.k.a. Fish Stealing Dude, Deshaun Kaiser, Russell Wilson, Geno Smith, J.T. Barrett, Dwayne Haskins, Josh Dobbs, Deshaun Watson, Joe Webb, Lamar Jackson, RG3, yes, he's still in the league, Jacoby Brissett, Kyler Murray, Brett Hundley, Josh Jackson, and my guy, Cam Newton. So these are all the guys that we're going to follow. Some of these guys are starting. Some of them are not starting. Some of them are in contract disputes. Some of them are not in contract disputes. So it's a lot going on. So the first one I really want to take a look at is, and let me preface this by, all of this is pretty much opinion. A lot of what I'm saying is complete opinion. So if I get some stats wrong, it's going straight off the dome. So feel free to correct me. I want to have conversations, respectful conversations, you know what I mean? So if you see this on YouTube or you see it on Instagram or wherever you see it, I want disrespectful conversations will be deleted and blocked. I know I'm early, but I don't tolerate that. I want to make that clear right off the rip. I don't tolerate disrespect and none of that. So we're going to start with, where am I going? Tyrod Taylor. Now, Tyrod Taylor has an interesting journey. Tyrod Taylor was in Buffalo, took them to the playoffs, got a bench, came back into the game, led them to the playoffs, and then they still got rid of him. Then he went to Cleveland, hurt himself. Then Baker Mayfield came in and pretty much lost his spot. Now he's backing up Phillip Rivers, who also has an interesting concept that I'm not really going to get into. It's nothing crazy. It's just dude got like 85 kids and he just deserves to win. But so I don't see Tyrod Taylor playing this year, but he shouldn't have left Buffalo, which is ridiculous to me. And I've learned from my studying that New York has no black quarterbacks. which is sad. But you really can't be too concerned about it. So we're not sitting here begging for jobs or whatnot. But that's what I found interesting. Probably the best player on this list in the former MVP. And before I get to him, I'm probably gonna get what about Marcus Mariota? Marcus Mariota is Hawaiian, and I checked his parents. His parents don't they're Hawaiian, so they don't necessarily look like authentic. And I hate to make that division, but I just felt like his criteria didn't match this series. So we're moving on. So where's it? Patty Mahomes. Pat Mahomes boy is Shannon Sharp, I like to call him. Former MVP, great team put together. Fortunately, Tyreek Hill got I don't think exonerated is the word, but unfortunately Tyreek Hill didn't go to jail and get suspended for hitting. I forgot who he hit, but I think he hit his wife. Oh, no. He said online or on the phone call that he would do some physical harm to a significant other. I'm not really into getting and all that, but he's on the field, so that's good. He still had. I think his name is the tight end for the Chiefs. I'm gonna put his picture in here. He's actually married to a black woman. He has him, and he has Andy Reid. Andy Reid they have to get it done this year. I think they're going to be my pick to come out the AFC, but if it's not going to be him, it's going to be my other sleeper that I got here, one of my favorites, Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun Watson has just got major upgrade on his line. They traded for Kenny Stills, and they got Normie Tunchel, one of the better linemen in the league, because Kenny Stills was, doing the whole kneel thing, standing up for what was right and doing everything, and the owner just couldn't stand him, so he got rid of him. So the Dolphins' loss is Deshaun Watson's game. Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins is another interesting case on this list, because Case Keenum is starting in Washington, which now I didn't watch a lot of Dwayne Haskins in college, and I didn't really watch the preseason because I wanted to start this series as soon as the football season started. But I feel as though Dwayne Haskins will probably be starting by the middle of this year, just based off. Now, I live in St. Louis, so I don't have a team no more. But Case Keenum was here when they was here, and he played really well for a minute. But he played really well for us, and then he went to Minnesota and blah, blah, blah. But I feel like if Dwayne Haskins can get better as a passer, he will be starting by some point this year. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get the people out the way who probably won't see any time this year. Deshaun Kaiser, maybe. He plays for the Raiders. At the beginning of this recording, I just found out that Geno Smith and J.T. Barrett were both released from Seattle, so they're rocking with one quarterback. That doesn't make sense to me. RG3, Brent Hundley, Josh Jackson. All these guys are backing up other people, so they probably won't start, or they probably won't see the field. And Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is also another one that won't see the field. Now, moving on to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is an interesting case. I don't care his political stance. He's still a brother. I don't care about that. Dak Prescott is looking for his money. Now, I don't think he's worth $40 million, but if that's the going rate for the quarterbacks, you're going to have to pay him. I'm all for players getting their money. But I don't think he's worth $40 million. But you just got Zeke locked up, St. Louis native. You just got Zeke locked up, so you should be good. And you got your offensive line for the most part locked up in Dallas. So I wouldn't pay him, but you might not have a choice but to pay him. Especially it depends on what happens this season, because Dak is not a first round pick, so he doesn't have that 5th-year option. So this is his 4th year, if I'm not mistaken. This is his 4th year, so he needs to get it done this year. Now, we all know Dak is not the best thrower of the ball, and he needs everything to go his way. He's been gifted with a great offensive line, with Zeke Elliott behind him. So I'm not big on people taking discounts, but I wouldn't give up that situation based off the fact that it's a good situation. And if he gives that situation for money, he gonna be like Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. So Joe Webb is backing up Deshaun Watson in Texas. So we probably won't see Joe Webb either. If I repeated myself, I'm sorry, because I'm looking through the thing I have. So we have two more curious cases. 2 more very curious cases this year. We have Jacoby Brissett and we have Cam Newton. Now, Jacoby Brissett, I wouldn't say he got lucky, but he just kind of was in the right place at the right time. He was backing up Tom Brady, the quarterback that's in San Francisco. I can't remember his name right now. I'm sure I'll put his face on the screen. He was backing up those two in New England and became the first African-American quarterback to play in New England after both of them went down. So, due to Andrew Luck's retirement, he now is the starter in Indianapolis, the house that Peyton built. So I really don't necessarily know how they're going to do this year, but their offensive line is very up. The whole team is upgraded. That was the feel-good story of last year. So I don't know how good Jacoby Brissett is, but they just locked him in for 3 years. So we shall see how he is. That leaves a little bit to desire. And last but not least, my guy Cam Newton. Cam Newton is a curious case. He hasn't been the same since that Super Bowl run. And that's probably based on the fact he's been hurt most of the Super Bowl run. Last year, I think they got off to a 6-1, 6-2 start and just sputtered after that because of the shoulder. Because of the shoulder pain he had all year and played through it. And Cam is suffering from the LeBron James effect, where he's not allowed to have teammates. He's not allowed to have help. He's never had a receiver after Steve Smith. It's been rough. It's been rough for him. So I was just reading up on everything, and it looks like they've shored up that defense a little bit better. They signed Booth Erzen. I'm sorry, it's a gnat flying around, guys. You know how I go in the summer, but they shored up. They shored up the defense, and that's been the problem, that the defense regressed. So they still got Luke Kuechly. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not sure if he's injured or not, but he was last year too. So they also had a lot to do with their decline. And they got a receiver. They have a decent young receiver. So hopefully he can turn into what they need him to be. So if I missed one, Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson will do Russell Wilson things, you know what I mean? And I think any football fan knows exactly what I'm talking about. He's gonna run around, he's gonna make plays, he's gonna do everything that they wanted Johnny Manziel to do when he was here. When he was in Seattle. So I think that's everybody. So these are all the quarterbacks we're gonna keep track of all year. I probably will put all their names at the end just so y'all can look at them and, follow them yourself. I can see Cam Newton or Patty Mahomes or even Dak Prescott winning MVP. Dak purely off, he plays in Dallas. So, but the other two are going to have to show out. So, this is episode number 2. Black quarterback. I don't know who plays this week. I'm gonna have to check the schedule. And that's it, y'all. So y'all have a good week. I'll see y'all probably next Tuesday or Wednesday to discuss week 1.